What's good, my lovely peoples? It's your main man, Solace here, the humble wise one. Today I want to do this very quick, short video. Basically, answering a question that everyone seems to have. Now, that question is, are the black Americans of today the same as Africans? Are they the same people? Now, as opposed to me giving you a history lesson, like most brothers would do, I'm going to make it simple so that a little baby child could understand. Now, are the black people in America of today the same as the Africans? Are they the same race? No. And let me explain why. Simple. An African knows where they're from in Africa. Meaning, if an African is from Somalia and they live in Somalia, they're Somalian. Simple. A Nigerian is Nigerian. An Ethiopian is Ethiopian. Now, that's what an African is. Whatever country they're from or whatever nationality they are on the African continent, that is what they are. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, what is a black person? A black person is basically two black races in one European race, mixed and mingled. So this is why you're called black. It's because you're not from one place in Africa. You're a mixing of 2 to 3 different races. So this is why black people are referred to as black. And this is what separates a black person in America from an African. What separates you from them is, if you ask them, what's your nationality? They'll tell you, I'm Nigerian, I'm Somalian, or whatever. And that's what they are. Just that. And the difference between you is if somebody asks you, what's your nationality? Even if you did an ancestors check, and you are a descendant of Nigeria, you're not just a descendant of Nigeria. You have other races mixed and mingled into you. So no black person on this American continent is just one race. We all know that. If we dig into our backgrounds, we all have a mix and mingling of different races. If you do that with an African, they don't. If they have any mixing and mingling, it's with either white or another African race. And this is the difference between black people on the American continent. When the white people came here, there was a bunch of different black races here. Dominicans, but they called themselves whatever they called themselves. You had the North Americans, the Cherokee. They were black. They called themselves Cherokee or whatever they called themselves. So on the American continent, you had all black races, or coppered colored, meaning my complexion, or darker. Some lighter. But you had dark races of people on the continent. And then Africans and white people were brought into the persuasion. You know what I mean. Now, once that happened, and you fast forward to now, you are the mixing and mingling of 2 or more of those black races and one of the Caucasian ones. So it's a simple but deep thing. That's why you're not an African. Because an African knows exactly what they are. They are not mixed with anything. And you are. You're a mutt. So you have to grasp, if you're a black person in America, you're called that because you're not just one race. So it's unfair to just call you one thing. And it's disrespectful to call you a mutt. So they just call you black. It's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. Black people were supposed to have been rename themselves something, being as though black people are the first mutts of this time, meaning the mixing of many different races, because that's what black people truly are. the first mutts, a mixing and mingling of a bunch of different people that are completely different. See, white people may be mixed with other Europeans. Africans may be mixed with other Africans. But you're different. You're mixed with all type of shit. And this is why you're a black person. And it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. Now, I want to discuss one more thing before I shut this video off. And that is this. Jesus, or Isa, is coming back to save the righteous. But my one question is this that I want all Christians to ask. And I know this is a touchy subject, so please pardon me. But I just want you to ask yourself this question. When is he coming back, and what is the deadline that is stamped before it's acknowledged as a fake? Because you have to grasp, this is thousands and thousands of years now. So we're not talking about a few months, or we're talking thousands of years. See, for the whole AD period, which is 2017 years, that's documented, it may be longer. But you have to grasp, out of all that time, still hasn't come back. It's 2,000 years. First it was he was coming in 1,000, then 2,000. Now it's no one to know the day that he'll just appear. But my thing is this, because at this point, 2000, in the year 4017, y'all would say that's the future. So you have to understand, we're at 2017, which is 2,000 years from when this supposedly happened. We're in the future now. And it's a deep thing because men still believe. Mind you, we're way past the point of the return. He should have been back 1,000 years ago. No, 2,000 years, okay, well, he's 17 years late. Mind you, that's not even including the gap in time between AD and BC. So we truly don't know how long it's been AD. Could be the year 3017, truly. But my point is this, how many thousands of years before we stamp it as a lie? Or does this go on for tens of thousands of years? Because this is a deep thing you have to grasp. How many years? It's almost like the Santa Claus effect. You figure at this point logically in life, meaning 2017 years after the fact, logically, in this day and time where we are, we should be past religion. But we're not. And it's a deep thing because it's already debunked itself. But the brainwashing is so deep, it's almost like, you have to look at it like this. You have no reason to believe because this was just placed on you. Yet you still believe. He's late, you still believe. He didn't even say he was coming back in the Bible if you actually read it, and I broke that down. You still believe. So for how long, and I'm not talking about you as an individual, I'm talking about mankind. For how long or many thousands of years do y'all think this will still be an issue? Do you think in the year 5017 they'll still believe and be waiting and say, no, it's only been 1,000 years? Probably not. In your mind, you like, nah, if he don't come by the year 5017, I'm sure they're going to be past this shit. But this is how deep it is, because that's 3,000 years from now. We're already 2,000 years from then, and we still like, yeah, it's going to happen. So it's a deep thing. I want y'all to really truly ask yourselves, how long before it's acknowledged as a fake? Because we're talking 2,000 years, and people still waiting. It's a deep thing. Oh yeah, and a brother, he asked me a question about CERN. He said, I thought CERN was trying to create alternate universes so they could find portals to other worlds and realities. And this is the problem. Y'all keep listening to people speak about CERN and other topics, and they are not fluent in the topic. Meaning, CERN is a bunch of scientists. The person that told him this other YouTube video that he's seen on this, the person has no knowledge in science, and they don't even know CERN is scientists' problem. So it's a deep thing. Y'all watch all these videos on YouTube. You have no clue who these people are. The things they say don't line up with anything. You see how it goes off in the sci-fi? They're looking for alternate worlds and portals and all of this weird talk stuff. That sounds like a television show. And this is what happens when you don't have any foundation of knowledge. Now, it's like I said, y'all have to grasp. They're not trying to make alternate universes. They're trying to recreate a universe in the tunnel. Why? So they can see things from a smaller perspective, so they can understand what is truly what. Grasp. That's simple, but it's a deep thing. So you have to grasp. We can't perceive what's up above. It's too big. They know this. They're starting to grasp. Okay, it doesn't matter how good of a telescope we make. We're still not going to be able to perceive it, right? Because we're micro in comparison. So it's a deep thing. They're starting to grasp. So they said, let's recreate the universe, being as though we understand the start. It's atoms crashing together, which create cells, which create organisms, etc., etc. Since we know this, let's create a space and recreate creation. Therefore, we can be big as God looking at the life or the whole universe. And then we can clearly see what is truly what and what is going on. Therefore, we can exploit the world that we live in. So it's a simple but deep thing. But the sad part is that's real life that they're doing this with. So when they're recreating all of this in that tunnel, they're recreating real life and real people and animals and plants, and it's a sad thing. But y'all have no spirits. Y'all spirits are so low, y'all don't care. Y'all like, nah, I like it better when it was like alternate realities and like sci-fi TV. That's better. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp. CERN, alternate universes and all of this weird talk, you have to understand, man, the life is within the life, bodies are within bodies. You have cells within you, and those cells within you have atoms within them. Simple thing. Each cell in your body has 1,000,000+ atoms in it. Each cell. Mind you, you have millions of cells within you, and each cell has millions of atoms within it. This is the size, perspective, and the difference of the life. Mind you, this is all within you. So now you're in the planet, and you just don't grasp what the planet is. It's the same thing as you. Any world that you see in the life is a body. You just can't perceive it because you are like the micro cells within yourself on this planet. So whatever you see, it's just not going to be perceived right. The micro cells within your body have no clue that you're a living person. No clue. Even if they come out of you, they still can't perceive you. You wouldn't be able to see them, and they'd be right in your face. This is how small it is. So we just have to grasp, man, the life is within the life. Simple thing. In every level of life up, you have an extra additional thing. Meaning, cells have a bunch of atoms in them. But cells don't have, it's so deep, cells have cells within them, but they have even, it's so deep, y'all ain't ready for that. But just put it to you like this. Cells don't have cells within them. They have atoms within them. People have cells and atoms within them. Planets have organisms, cells, and atoms within them. Why? Because the planet has organisms in it. And those organisms have cells in them. And those cells have atoms in them. So this is how the life works, like a Pandora box. And if you are alive in something, it's a body. You have to grasp that. The ancients did. I don't know why y'all don't. Now, please don't no one be mad at me because I know the Jesus religion thing is a touchy topic, and I'm not trying to disturb anybody because y'all get a little crazy. But just stay in peaceful spirit and understand one thing. Because y'all know everything that your body needs. Y'all like, I'm going to work out and make sure my body nice and strong and diesel. And then you're diesel. But then what? Don't change your life. And this is my point. We all know what the body needs and wants and how to make the body better. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to do this. But if I ask anybody, what does your spirit need? They'll say all the dumbest stuff you could think of because no one truly knows. And it's the simplest thing. All the spirit needs is love. Simple. And the only way you're going to get love is through humility and respect and peace. This is all love. So you have to grasp. Spirits just need love. And they're only going to get that through peace and people being humbled. And we're far off from that. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp. A lot of people think this is the era of enlightenment, where people are starting to become conscious and know things. And this is a lie. We are in the most lost times of AD. Now, I know y'all like, well, we have technology and all these different sciences. We're not the dumbest of these times. And it's a deep thing you have to realize. Just because we have all these sciences and technologies, that doesn't matter. Because you can have all of that, but if you never take a moment to figure out if it's a good thing or a bad thing, then you're truly not wise. It's a deep thing you have to grasp. Men now don't check to see if what they're creating and doing in the life is a good thing for the life or a bad thing. They only focus on, is it good, meaning, is it going to earn revenue? If it's going to earn revenue, it's a good thing. But they never look at how it destroys or betters the life. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp. We in the most lost times. This is what the Bible means when it says Lucifer was the smartest but lost in his pride in things. The smarter you get and the more things you do, the more you feel like, no, I'm not lost, I'm smart. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be able to electrically wire the house. So this means I'm getting smarter. But you never consider if it's a good thing, a safe thing. None of these things. You just become lost in the knowledge. And it's a deep thing. The more wise men get, the more evils are accessible to them. It's a deep thing. It's your main man, Solace.